You have to be careful about making a weird show or watching a weird show.
Hello, this is Greg Smalley on Pod 366, a Weird Movies podcast, joined today, as I often am, by the highly anticipated Giles Edwards.
Hello, everybody.
And also highly anticipated, we will soon have a guest in the studio, Mr. Ryland Brickson Cole Tews, from... You know him from, maybe you know him from Lake Michigan Monster, if you're really deep cut. You probably know him from Hundreds of Beavers, where he was the lead and the co-writer. And you will soon know him from his new project, Oriental Snatch, which we are going to preview.
Yes, so new. They start filming, I believe, spring of this coming year.
Okay. Yes, not even in production yet. They are raising money, and there will be a link in the description for you to follow if you'd like to invest in that film.
Yeah, you can own a piece of that future.
And I would recommend that you do not Google Oriental Snatch, or you will get nothing but spoilers for this upcoming movie. So
Right.
Just pay attention here to what we say if you want information, and will all be Ryland Brickson Cole Tews approved information. No unapproved rumors or anything. So, but before we do that, we have a couple of new releases and news items to report on, which we shall do post haste. And Giles, can you see the schedule of items?
See 5 pictures here.
Let us begin with this first one, which is sort of a rather minor announcement, but we thought we'd mention it. Of interest only to a select few. But would you like to describe this really lovely still image that may be familiar to, hopefully familiar to most of our viewers?
All right. Well, we've got some lens flare here. This looks like it's still from something captured through a screen, a glass screen, a clear screen of some sort. There is a young brunette with semi-curly hair, certainly very wavy, full lips, a nice expression of kind of open wonderment as she stares somewhere just above the left side of our heads as we observe her here. She seems to be wearing a fur coat kind of thing, and I'm looking at this, I'm guessing she's seated, but I really couldn't guess what. Possibly a bus or a train car. But definitely not a car, but yeah, she's there, and she's got some nice refraction effects diagonally across her face with a big old light flare on the upper left-hand side of the image.
And the woman, do you know who the woman is? I'm sure you know who the woman is.
Well, I'm sure I've seen her, but I don't really know many names of actors below the age of 40 these days.
Oh my goodness. Wow, I think she'd be upset if she found out you thought she was above 40, although she probably is. I can't calculate.
Oh, no, I said she was below 40, or probably below 40.
I think she's probably above 40. It's Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I've heard those names. I've heard that.
She's close to, I've heard that name. One of the probably top actors.
Yeah, very famous.
Now, but, and she's from a movie that I'm fairly certain you've seen, and
yeah, okay, I have seen a number. Okay, yep, it's all coming back to me now.
Okay. And this film, I think you've seen, haven't you? Didn't we watch it on Netflix together?
Quite possibly. Which film is this again?
Maybe you didn't come to that one.
I did miss a few.
This is Under the Skin.
Oh, okay, yep.
This is Under the Skin.
Yep, I remember very, very slowly now. Okay.
She's in a bus there hunting for men to liquefy into black goo. And it is the reason we're discussing this. Do you know the reason we're discussing this?
Sure.
No.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Oh, go ahead and tell the viewers why we're doing.
Well, they'll be pleased to know that if they're in the right place at the right time, the A24 films Under the Skin, Hereditary, Pearl, and Eighth Grade will be getting live orchestra screenings. So if
Right.
you're near LA's United Theater, um, you're in luck.
Yes, and we don't know the dates on those. And Under the Skin, of course, is the one we
Hmm.
would be especially interested in. It says it runs from February to December 2026, so that's pretty far in the future. However, um, they are selling tickets now, so
Now,
maybe
as
they
you are watching or listening to this,
yeah, maybe they anticipate it's going to sell out. Um, the score for Under the Skin is really one of the great weird movie scores. Very unique. It's just a violin and strings with a percussion beat behind it. I don't know how this ensemble is going to handle it. It's because it's being all these scores are being performed by an ensemble named Wordless Music. So I don't
hmm,
know if they're going to do their own take on the films and maybe even make a new soundtrack, or whether it will be, a faithful recreation of the soundtrack.
yeah, the little blurb here indicates it will be a different score than found in the movie by composer Micah Levi.
Yeah. Okay.
So, why
Um,
not?
yes. I don't see where you found that it would be different, but I
Well, it says original score as, I mean,
okay.
I guess I don't, the way I'm reading it is like as opposed to, the previous score, this to me, the original score, I mean, so it might be the same and I'm just misreading the connotation of the word here.
Well, yes, it does say, let's read from this article from IndieWire. Back in 2015, Wordless, the ensemble we're talking about, worked closely with composer Mika Leve on the live orchestra adaptation of her unorthodox Under the Skin score, which they are bringing for this series. So it is based on the original score, but well, I'm assuming that means, it's a new arrangement, so new instrumentation probably, but the melodies and general feel should be the same.
Hmm.
So that's only of interest to Los Angelinos or people traveling to Los Angeles. Um, but it's a cool idea, and I'd like to see it spread further. However, I guess the problem is you have to have a venue that can accommodate an orchestra along with an audience to show it in. So,
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. And here's this clarifies how long the event is going. The screenings are one per movie, February 20th, June 12th, October 23rd, and December 11th of.
do you see which film is which date?
Yes, Under the Skin is the first one, February 20th, 2026.
So get your tickets now, Los Angelinos, for February 2026. Probably sell out soon, my guess. Otherwise, they wouldn't be selling them now. All right, so let's move on, however, to the next item, if I may. And here we go. Here,
Ooh.
another musical sort of entry for this week. Do you want to describe
Okay.
what's going on here?
Yeah, I think I just figured out what's happening here. All right. Well, we certainly see an eye open. We see the eyelashes, the eyebrow. It actually dominates a lot of the frame. However, it is superimposed on the front grille and headlights of a very old style of automobile. This is black and white, and it looks like maybe Academy frame, if I can estimate here. And the eye is centered and is right above the grille of this vehicle, and it is flanked fairly symmetrically by the two types of headlights of whatever antique auto this thing is.
Okay. And do you know what it's from?
I'm gonna guess that this is from one of four films by Man Ray.
It is from one of four films by Man Ray. The actual film it's from is called Imak Bakia. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. I'm not sure it's really anything other than nonsense syllable.
Oh yeah.
Um, but this is from Return to Reason, which is a new Criterion Collection reissue. Well, I don't think they've ever issued this precisely in this manner. So what this is four experimental films from the 20s by surrealist Man Ray. The films are Le Retour à la Raison, Emak Bakia, L'Étoile de Mer, Star of the Sea, Les Mystères des Châteaux d'Uday. Les Mystères du Château d'Uday.
The Mysteries of Castle something.
Of Day. I think
Of
Day
Day,
is like a proper
perhaps
name, maybe.
Monsieur.
Yeah. So these they were made in the 1920s, avant-garde, surrealist. You've probably seen this kind of thing before, even if you haven't seen this. We've featured a lot of similar shorts on our site. However, this time, what's different about this is they're all stitched together into one long presentation, and they were given a score by a band called Squirrel, I'm going to say, Squrl.
The
And
umlaut over
yeah,
the
with an
vowel there.
umlaut. And that is a project of Jim Jarmusch and Carter Logan. Carter Logan is the musician. Jim Jarmusch, I'm not sure what he does in the band, but there you go. They,
He
it's
sort of hangs around and, gives it a connection between, the cool underground and
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Oh, he lends his name for
Yeah.
sure. Carter Logan has worked with Jim Jarmusch on the soundtrack to other films, not to our favorite Dead Man, but which of course was Neil Young, but he's done some other ones. So he's a composer, and Jim Jarmusch does whatever he does. You can actually see what he does because on this Criterion disc, they will include a bonus feature of a concert featuring them performing a semi-improvised score. It is, I would describe the music as ambient to my ears. I think they described it, Janus Films, when they were releasing this, described it as drone rock, which I guess is a distinction. By any chance, did you see the trailer to this, Giles? I don't think I should have.
Unfortunately, I didn't make that leap. But
Okay. Well, it has the kind of imagery that you would expect from a surrealist film of the 1920s, but with a new, very contemporary sounding score, and seems like a lot of fun to me.
yeah, this looks real
But
cool.
I'm weird, so
Yeah.
that
So,
is Return to Reason now on Criterion Collection. Unfortunately, arriving just a little too late to get it on the half price sale. I,
oh yes. Okay, looks like Squirrel. Okay, look. Okay, I did some research on the band here.
Mhm,
Quote from
mhm.
allmusic.com, an experimental and genre-defying project led by director slash guitarist Jim Jarmusch and film producer slash musician Carter Logan.
Okay, so he plays guitar. There we go. Now we know what he does. All right. Jim Jarmusch, a man of many talents.
Indeed.
Sticking though, let's stick with this musical theme for this next
Yeah.
one. You can describe this Blu-ray cover.
All right. Well, we have the title of this movie is taking center band here on the front of this Blu-ray in a beautiful crimson facsimile. The motif for the title design is you can read it, but it looks like it's contained by a mechanism referred to within the title with an array of teeth that are in the form of notes. Above this is the sideways view of a jolly, heavy-set fellow with mustache and beard, tousled hair, and we'll say splashes of damp to dry blood about his face and upper neck from his open shirt there. He could conceivably, in this position, be holding the device that is mentioned in the title. And on the right-hand side toward the corner is a yellow-centered, white-petaled flower sprayed with well, I'm going to guess some sort of blood-like substance. And also on this are three little blurbs from the good people at Bloody Disgusting, Screen Anarchy, and Rue Morgue, which should give away certainly the genre.
Yeah. And the one from Bloody Disgusting calls it bizarre, weirdly funny, and utterly delightful, which sounds great to me. It's Chainsaws Were Singing, and it's a Estonian homemade DIY chainsaw musical with cannibals and bukkake.
Oh, yes, yes, that had slipped my mind. Yes, there's oh
That's the kind
gosh,
of thing
they're
you
like
want to.
possessed refrigerators or something in some little jaunt in the woods that are found. And yes, there's that scene that the director admitted really didn't move the story along,
Yeah.
but thought it really helped, with the tone they were going for. And I agree that it would be a more straightforward movie, but a lesser movie without the bukkake refrigerators.
All right. Well, the movie is called, for those, since we haven't given the title, Chainsaws Were Singing. That's the English translation, at least. And as we mentioned, Giles saw this at Fantasia and recommended it. Would you agree that it's bizarre, weirdly funny, and utterly delightful as
Oh
Bloody?
yeah, certainly. Yeah, yeah. I think that is for a quick description quite apt.
Anything else you would tell us about Chainsaws Were Singing?
I probably shouldn't get myself started because I did have a
Yeah.
good interview with the people from the team who were there. Very long history to this movie, kind of shot a bit over a decade ago and then very slowly poked at. The director taught himself how to compose after the fact.
Hmm.
And so added notes, this, that, and the other. And looking at the original language title, I believe Chainsaws Were Singing is a very good English translation. So,
Okay. One note about this Blu-ray, although it is listed as released on December 2nd from Dark Sky, yes, Dark Star Pictures, it is currently unavailable on Amazon or listed as unavailable on Amazon. You might be able to track it down through Dark Star directly. We're mentioning it anyway. I was hoping it would come back online, but as I
hmm.
record this, says it's not available right now, or not in stock at the very least. Maybe they don't anticipate enough sales to stock it. Although they stock a lot of stuff that's doesn't sell very many copies. So
Yeah.
at any rate, it includes a lot of bonus features on the Blu-ray, deleted scenes, B-rolls, three short films, bloopers, the original soundtrack, perhaps in a separate, I don't know, a separate
A little separate CD there
CD
for
or
those
something.
who still have
I don't
peak 90s technology.
know. Some crowd reactions from festival screenings. Maybe you can see Giles in the audience in those. Some commentary, and then also drunken commentary under the influence of tequila. I like it when they specify what spirit is used for the drunken commentary. And
Uh,
also mentions that it includes, among its incredible bonus features, it includes Chainsaws Were Singing, which is the actual movie. So that's a great bonus feature to,
It's like, you get all this and the thing you paid for. Look, you're
right.
not going to get better than that.
Right. So there you go. Chainsaws Were Singing. This is not available on VOD to my knowledge. Maybe I should do, I kind of assume that. Maybe I should do a real quick check on that. I do not believe it is available streaming, but let me check real quick. Chainsaws Were Singing.
Okay,
It is,
you can
yeah.
rent it or buy it on Prime streaming.
Yes, it is available on VOD, so I would be wrong. They don't, they usually link to it from the Blu-ray page to the VOD version. They did not in this case, but yes, you can rent it on Amazon or Apple.
Here we go. Yeah, apparently Prime Video, Apple TV, YouTube Movies, Fandango at Home, and Movies on Google Play are all platforms on which you may rent or buy the streaming rights.
Yes, and you may also, this may be why Amazon doesn't have it. They might have a, no, I was going to say they might have a exclusive deal with someone else, but it turns out no, that other retailer has them out of stock as well. So I don't know. Maybe there was an issue delivering the copies in a timely fashion, but still recommended to try to hunt down Chainsaws Were Singing if you can. Right, Giles?
Right.
Since I haven't seen it, and
It's
you're the one.
recommended, a fantastic, hopefully an opening salvo from the filmmaking team because I know they learned a whole lot and definitely showed great promise with this, with as they say, bizarre, weirdly funny, and utterly delightful movie.
Well, okay then. Let's move on to the next one. Go ahead and describe that Blu-ray cover, if you will.
All right, I'll do this. Let's see, I'll do this barely. All right, so we got a Cosmos thing going on. We have a huge, just blob of characters all integrated, done in a kind of Saturday cartoon meets classic Japanese animation style of various characters who look like they could fall anywhere between, I don't know, normal people or heroes. Perhaps they are a bit of both. Perhaps it depends upon, what they're up to. There's a cat there. There's a drum kit. Most of these people look young. Very few of them have glasses on. In the background, in the deep background between this blob of, I don't know, a couple dozen characters and the deep space are some aerobically posed what's it's with capes dancing among super bright stars. So all told, this looks like a silly, fun time, adventure-y animated thing.
Right, and it is.
Complete limited series. Scott
Oh,
Pilgrim Takes Off.
yeah. So this is on Blu-ray. You can catch this on Netflix also. I guess the Blu-ray is aimed at people who don't have Netflix subscriptions but are Scott Pilgrim fans. I don't know how large that can be. This is a pre-order. It was originally supposed to be released this time, which is why I had it on my list. However, it has been pushed back to March 2006. So
Oh.
if you're buying it now, you'll have to wait a bit to get it. So no Christmas gift for this one. It does not list any extra features, which surprises me. Perhaps that's simply because they haven't updated it yet, and it will show up closer to March. The movie, however, or the limited series, however, you can catch on Netflix, and it is recommended. It was reviewed for our site by Shane Wilson, who summarized it as slacker bassist Scott Pilgrim must defeat 7 evil exes in order to win Ramona Flowers, the girl of his dreams. But a surprising outcome leads Ramona to investigate her own romantic past and the new world that has resulted. So, just to point out to people who are familiar with Scott Pilgrim versus the World, this is the same universe, the same characters, and the same general plot structure, but it's a complete alternate reality of that where things go quite a bit different. Just to give you the spoiler, in his first battle against the first of the 7 X's, Scott Pilgrim is defeated and dies, and so is sort of out of the picture, but not really, because then Ramona will go and investigate what happened, which leads her onto a set of a movie where they are making Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So it's a little confusing, and but meta and fun, and they got pretty much all of the original cast back to voice this. So you have Michael Cera as Scott, Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Ramona, Aubrey Plaza, Chris Evans, Anna Kendrick, Jason Schwartzman, all come back, reprise their roles from the movie version to in this limited series. All right, Giles, did you have something to say? You're jumping.
Oh, no, I've just been looking. This is a phenomenon I only know about through what I've read on 366, so I have nothing to add that isn't in print.
Okay, have you not seen the original?
I've seen none of the Scott Pilgrim universe.
That's another one we had on a watch party. That
Okay, I know I missed that one because I.
you keep skipping the ones that were talked about this week for some reason. All right, so that is coming much later, but we recommend you go to Netflix and check it out in the meantime. And we'll report on it again if it turns out it has some special features, which it should to convince fans to buy it who have already seen it on Netflix.
Right.
But there's one more item to discuss this week, a very, well, atypical for us, I'd say, but go ahead and describe this.
We're looking at a box set here, and from the side I can see there are three boxes within this box set, each of them 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray discs. So hey, how about that? And on the front of the box that we can see here, there's a purplish nighttime. There's a skyscraper looming in the background, taking up almost the entire bit of frame there. There are just a few lights on that suggest that this is a very late night adventuring thing going on, and the adventuring is being done by a fella clad in all black in a sort of combination, tight but loose fitting for easy movement, perhaps martial arts movements, I don't know. He seems to be carrying a variety of weapons and has a very determined look in the eyes below a pair of very prominent, arched, expressive eyebrows as he dramatically poses in front, possibly jumping from something or alternately falling from somewhere else.
Okay. Blowing out some sort
Maybe
of,
a flare gun?
yeah.
Something, some sort of, but mostly blade-based, non-exploding
There's
weaponry for this martial artist type.
a lot of throwing stars, and he
Yeah.
is, black clad, so that would suggest he is a ninja?
Maybe he's the ninja.
He could be the, yeah, it's a good point. He could be the ninja because this is the Ninja Trilogy from Canon Films, released on Blu-ray slash 4K Ultra HD by Kino Lorber Studio Classics this week. It's a 3-volume set containing the entire trilogy of Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, and Ninja 3, The Domination. Now, I have not seen these movies to my knowledge. I might have caught some of them on, Cinemax back in the day in the 90s when they were the kind of fodder that would fill up the late night hours on such pay cable services. However, Ninja 3, The Domination in particular, has a reputation that has preceded it. What I would say is, from my understanding, the series starts out rather kind of cardboard and average and maybe even a little boring bit of martial arts, but with each successive film, it gets more and more absurd and bad and more entertaining until it climaxes in a completely whacked out version of Ninja 3, The Domination.
Yeah, it's a compelling plot description here.
Go ahead.
Site. In Ninja 3, The Domination from 1984, aerobics instructor Christy Ryder, played by Lucinda Dickey, suddenly finds herself possessed by the diabolical spirit of a ninja assassin. Dominated by the killer's relentless rage, she sets out to brutally destroy his enemies. In a life-threatening exorcism and ultimate fight to the death, the good ninja Yamada proves that he's Christie's only chance for survival, and that only a ninja can kill a ninja.
Yes, right. So yeah, did you by any chance see the little trailer thing compilation for it, Giles?
No, I really slacked this week.
That's okay. That's all we know about the Ninja Trilogy. As I say, the third film has something of a reputation. They all star Sho Kosugi. I think that they would all be entertainingly cheesy, but as I say, hopefully the reports are correct and it just has this trajectory where it gets worse but more entertaining and stranger with each film until it culminates into a film where an aerobics instructor is possessed by an evil ninja. And hey, there you go. All right. So that's the 5 items we're discussing. We would like to bring on Ryland Brickson Cole Tews. What do you think, Giles? Should we
Yeah,
do?
that sounds good. And I think to prepare in the instant time that it'll take our viewers to see, I'll have my cardigan removed and mysteriously grow several months of hair.
All right. Well, I'll try to have my cold sore get worse, maybe better. I'm not sure. But we will have talked to Ryland Brickson Cole
Old
Tews by the
tune.
next time you see us, which will be in just a second. So goodbye, everyone, and see you soon. Hello, and we're back with Ryland Brickson Cole Tews, and you might know him from such films as Lake Michigan Monster, or the humongous hit Hundreds of Beavers, and if you've been following the news around here, from the upcoming true story of D.B. Cooper, Oriental Snatch. And so hello, Ryland Brickson Cole Tews, and before I really get started, it seems that congratulations might be in order because I was doing a little bit of last minute research, and about 15 minutes to half an hour ago, I found out that you may be departing the realm of the single.
Yeah. Oh, departing the realm of the single, like the single man.
Yes, the bachelor.
Yes. This is true. Yes, I'm recently engaged to my lovely fiance, and yes, we were just on tour, another one of our tours in the UK and Ireland, where we did another additional 26 screenings of Hundreds of Beavers, and at the end of the tour, we finished it by taking a little trip to Paris, France. You
I've
may
heard
have
of that place.
it's crazy what Paris makes a man do. And the next thing you know, I'm on one knee proposing.
All right.
And so yes, we are engaged to be wed.
And I guess you've probably been asked this question multiple times already, but did you have to give her father 100 beaver pelts before she would accept?
Correct. Yes. But it was hundreds of beavers.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
Yes. It
Yeah.
was something like 584. Yes. So, and he graciously accepted, and so yeah, so we're gonna get married this summer, hopefully.
All right. Well, as I say, congratulations. And with that out of the way, I think we're going to spend our time talking about this exciting upcoming feature, Oriental Snatch. And so let me see what I have. Can you guys see the screen?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think that the first thing we've got up is this lovely poster, which Giles has described in detail before. Giles, you want to hit just like the major features of this poster for people who are just listening and have no video?
Sure, we've got a lovely 1960s style, let's see, I guess madcap meets espionage motif going on here with lots of characters about doing various things. In the foreground, we have a very obviously smooth operator fella in a suit carrying a cocktail and a looks like a lunch pail with a bundle of dynamite and timer. And
That would
off
be a
to,
briefcase bomb, Giles.
yeah, sorry, he's got big arms. He's got big arms holding a briefcase bomb there. Off to that gentleman's left is a smoking hot and literally smoking cigarette stewardess individual who is carrying a big bag of money in her non-cigarette hand. She is clad in a very stylish hot pink, which guess I'm kind of curious what airline has that or had that probably. uh, uniform style. And then we get to some smaller figures. There's a sort of, let's see, a butcher shop owner looking guy with a boater and bow tie and suspenders, and he's holding a round fuse bomb above his head. There is that Sean Shaughnessy as a air pilot guy
Well,
with
actually, that would actually be Dick Flynn.
Dick Flynn. Excuse me, my apologies to either one of you if you're offended. Dick Flynn there, except no doubt as a different character here, as the pump action shotgun wielding, I'm going to guess pilot, although I suppose he might be a navigator. Standing in front of that mustachioed fellow is, of course, a bipedal alligator with a cuirass, an iron star, and a Nazi armband. Not to mention a bladed sidearm. And of course, there are a number of other interesting things going on in this very active poster, whose four corners are decorated by a Brazilian, United States, Japanese, and I believe Australian flag.
That is correct, yes.
All right, so something for at least people in those four countries.
And there are
Yes, we're only showing it in those four countries. Those are the only four countries that matter.
there's also like a castle and some figures that look like knights and lots of explosions. And this poster just raises so many questions. But first off, who's responsible for the artwork here, so we can just credit them for this wonderful.
Yes, that was Kyle V. James who
Okay.
made this concept poster for us. And when I started telling him all the different elements that I wanted included, well, he told me it was going to be a little bit of a mess, but I said, you know what, Kyle, that's fine because we're trying to sell the movie on this concept poster. This won't be the final poster, but it's supposed to act like one of those crazy, movie posters you'd see in like Thailand that has little or nothing to do with the actual film, but it's just made to say, wow, look at that thing. I want to watch that thing, even though you know, half the things in the poster aren't even in the movie. But with that being said, a lot of the things you see in this poster actually will be in Oriental Snatch. So it's just a big action adventure, mystery, horror, romance extravaganza.
Okay, but you do run the risk of alienating people if they do not see the Nazi alligator in armor. But I'm hoping.
Oh, well, I'm not going to say whether that's in the film or not, but I want to keep that a surprise, but that it's more of just a symbol for all things crazy and nuts, and gives you a little flavor of where this movie's going.
Yeah, I was thinking it's perhaps a metaphorical alligator Nazi.
Yes, correct.
All right, so that's well. I mean, it's a yes. It puts you in the right headspace. Okay,
That's
so
right.
so that's the poster. Let's go through some of the advertising material here for the movie or the pitch material. By the way, I should point out you have raised over $100,000 for this, and you're still are you still actively seeking funds? I assume yes.
Yes, we've actually raised $200,000, and we are aiming for $2 to $3 million budget. So far, we are still fundraising through WeFunder, also outside of WeFunder, but WeFunder has been the big investment platform for us. And the nice thing about WeFunder is you actually get to own a piece of the film. And when the movie makes money, you make money because you're an investor. It's not like Kickstarter where you give some money and then, 2 years later they mail you a Blu-ray. This is you will actually be owning a piece of the film. So we've got a lot of fans of Hundreds of Beavers, of Lake Michigan Monster, who want to see our next big cinematic escapade, and so they've given some money. But yes, we're going to start shooting the movie in March of next year, but we're going to continue to raise funds all through 2026. So yes, but there's investment happening all the time, like I said, both in WeFunder or on WeFunder, I should say, and outside. So if there's someone out there who would like to own a piece of Oriental Snatch, please join our team.
All
It
right.
sounds like you can still own up to 2.5 million of it if you want to, invest that. So
That's right, Giles. You
reach
sure can.
deep.
You, in particular, Giles. I know you have a couple million lying around.
Yeah, not here, but yeah.
Well, of course, we will link to that in the comments and on other places. But the first of one, two, three, four, five, six slides we have here is the synopsis for the film, which reads: a sexy, highly embellished retelling of the enigmatic air pirate D.B. Cooper and his infamous 1971 plane heist. Who was he? Where did he go? What are these creatures? The complete, outrageous, true story will finally be revealed. Genre: action, adventure, comedy. Tone: ominous and mysterious. Fun and macabre. Horror, romance, Hong Kong-inspired action. World aesthetic. Late 60s, early 70s art direction and costume design. So I guess I do want to maybe ask. I don't think some people may not know who D.B. Cooper was, and I think part of the reason it's a entertaining way to start a movie is because so little is actually known about D.B. Cooper. But what can you tell people about the real life background of D.B. Cooper that inspires this film?
Well, the story of D.B. Cooper is essentially this guy named quote unquote D.B. Cooper back in 1971 boarded an airplane. And at some point during the flight, he revealed that he had a briefcase with a bomb inside. And he demanded $200,000 and parachutes. And the airline and the feds gave in to him. They landed the plane, they gave him the money, they gave him the parachutes, and then they took back off in the plane. And then at some point during the flight, this DB Cooper jumped out of the plane with the money, with the parachute, never to be seen or heard from again. And it is the only unsolved uh, plane hijacking in a commercial aviation history. So there's a lot of fans of DB Cooper, and it's nice because there hasn't really been a feature film made about DB Cooper, other than there was one made in like 1981 or something. But there's been plenty of documentaries, but there just hasn't been a real proper DB Cooper made. And so we thought it was our job to do so. And the nice thing about this story is not only is there already fans of the story and the lore itself, but because it's so open-ended as to who this guy was, where did he come from, where did he go, why did he need this money, what happened to him after he jumped out of the plane. It really lends itself to, I don't know, creative outburst of imagination, because anything is possible in this story. And so that's why I said this movie is going to give us a framework in which we can kind of do whatever we want, essentially. Of course, we're going to try to tell the story of D.B. Cooper, but with that being said, we're also going to, make our own, story as well and tell the real life true story of what actually happened, and finally answer all these questions and raise several more.
All right. Hey, Giles, do you have any questions about this slide in particular before I move to the next one?
I guess maybe more of an observation that could elicit some comments. I recognize two of these stills. Is that one on the right from Van Helsing?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so will there be vampires in this docudrama you're making?
There's no way of knowing what'll be in this movie.
Mm.
Not even I know.
It's not shot yet, so we don't know.
Right. That's right. Everything's fair game.
Good point.
Okay, next slide is lead characters. The three are D.B. Cooper, Valentina, and Captain Bill Smith. D.B. Cooper's description reads, A sophisticated, suave, yet down-to-earth lounge lizard, a human weapon, a dangerous man of mystery, a helpless romantic, Cooper's man with the plan aura is only matched by his ability to get injured, which I guess is a new twist. Valentina is the fun, silly, alluring stewardess and love interest, a dissident of the harsh Brazilian dictatorship of the time. Valentina is an accomplished horseback rider and martial artist, a good-hearted woman who doesn't mind a bit of danger, and Captain Bill Smith, the bombastic Australian pilot, an ill-tempered loose cannon whose pride supersedes safety and decorum, a bloody brawler who's more fit to hunting down Mad Max than flying commercial aircraft, hates D.B. Cooper. My only question here is, what is D.B. Cooper's drink of choice? Because he looks like a bourbon on rocks guy to me. But
You're absolutely right, Greg. And that's actually factual. He was drinking a few bourbon on the rocks in real life, in the actual real life thing. And they said, well, it was either bourbon on the rocks, or he'd also order a 7 and 7 as well. Nice thing about this story too, about the DB Cooper story, is, he's different from like one of these, take me to Cuba political dissidents of the time. There'd just be some madman on a plane. The pilots and the stewardesses on the plane, they all said he was a very nice man. He was just kind of a charming guy who happened to be hijacking the plane. He happened to just be a terrorist, but he was actually a pretty nice guy. And they just said, yeah, he just, ordered his bourbon on the rocks and was all very, nice to us. And so, yeah, I think the bourbon probably calmed his nerves a bit.
All right, Giles, any questions on this slide?
No. I
Okay.
think it's
Well,
this all sounds good. I mean, obviously we all hope for a love triangle in any movie from the 60s or 70s, but I'm guessing since, well, gosh, could have Captain Bill Smith maybe, but yeah, no, I got nothing on this other than
all right.
what isn't known yet.
Let's move to this still our slide will go pretty quickly. It's just the movies that it intends to reference. The James Bond vibe, Eyes Wide Shut, which is a bit of a surprise, Evil Dead 2, which of course you would expect, and Jackie Chan are the four references listed here. Does this inspire a question for you, Giles? Or
Yeah, I'm just would you be able to comment on the Eyes Wide Shut elements that one may anticipate in this movie to come?
Again, if I did that, I'd have to kill you, Giles. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I can't spoil too much, or else why even make the movie, you know? But this, again, this will just give you a little bit of flavor for what we're going for, You mix all four of these together and then you get Oriental Snatch.
Okay.
so it's
Yeah.
Sean Connery, I'm sure, era James Bond. As for Jackie Chan, any movie in particular, or just the entire kickboxing type vibe? Or
It's any Jackie Chan movie other than, I would say, uh any Jackie Chan movie. I was trying to think of a lame a movie where he made a lame cameo, but nothing comes to mind.
Hmm.
So any Jackie Chan movie. Yes.
Including Cannonball Run.
Yes, actually that's the biggest
That's
reference.
the biggest one.
Correct.
Okay, well, we got through that one quickly. So, film aesthetic, slide number 4, super 16 millimeter color film to replicate the look and feel of the time. 24 frames per second, it looks like. And film locations says Tews and his team are known for getting the biggest bang for their buck. So, in order to keep costs low and stretch the budget, the team plans to shoot much of the film in Sao Paulo, Brazil. There, they will construct an airplane set from the ground up, staging the set and housing the film crew on a horse ranch. Okay, Giles, any questions here?
Well, this kind of makes me wonder. You mentioned other fundraising varieties before, Ryland, and this has got a very different feel to it from, a standard Kickstarter thing. Did you, how much thought and perhaps advice did you seek in regards to making something that's effectively a pitch to investors as opposed to a pitch to fans?
How do you mean?
Well, it's like you're saying, like you mentioned before with like a Kickstarter thing, which I know is at least a small part of the hundreds of beavers, and that's got a different outreach kind of feel than
Well, we never did a Kickstarter for Hundreds of
not
Beavers.
Kickstarter. What you did something though. You had some fundraising element, I
Well, no,
remember.
we just had private equity. We just
Oh,
had
private equity.
investors.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think
then.
you did on the ad for this. I think when we talked to you guys about hundreds of beavers, you kept the budget on the down low, but here you seem to spill the beans on how much hundreds of beavers cost in this. Is that public information now?
Yeah, that's public information
All right,
now.
it was
Yeah, it's like
150,000.
150,000. Yeah.
That is just amazing. Wow. And it grossed what figure do you have now?
Well, it's past 100, it's past 1.5 million worldwide now at the box office because it continues to play in theaters. I mean, we just now tonight actually we're premiering our second Northwoods Christmas theatrical run. We did it last year, and now we're doing it again back in the U.S. with, Beavers is back in theaters, playing at over 60 theaters again. And again, I just got back from Europe on another tour. So, we've had Beavers in movie theaters now for, well, over a year and a half in movie theaters. So yeah, it's at somewhere just over 1.5 million at the box office. And, we just continue to sell a bunch of merchandise.
So that is
Uh,
10 times the budget, which is a pretty good return.
and that's what we're trying to tell potential investors,
Mm.
we're just trying to say, hey, look, we already have made two features, and both those features made money for all our investors. Beavers continues to make money, so you know, there's no guarantee that indie film will make money, but we're two for two so far, and we already have created a cult classic in Hundreds of Beavers. So if there's any movie you want to get on board and support, it should be Oriental Snatch.
All right.
Yeah, and also, yeah, your many long years of continued efforts in the promotion, so you obviously don't slack when it comes to your own blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes, I mean, we premiered Hundreds of Beavers at Fantastic Fest in September of 2022, and now it's,
Still going.
December 2025, and like I said, I just got back off another Hundreds of Beavers tour, so
Mm.
just got to keep promoting the movie. That's the thing about indie filmmakers is they need to. It's unfortunate, but you have to put in just as much work into the marketing and promotion of the movie as you did making the movie, if not more.
Hmm.
Uh, and it's tough because you got to get out there and be boots on the ground and putting on a show for people, eventizing screenings in a way that will actually make people get off the couch and go out to a movie theater and see your thing. So, but we've had tremendous luck. I mean, this past year, my fiance and I put on 95 in-person screenings around England and Germany and
Hmm.
uh, Austria and Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and we sold out more times than not. So people still got beaver fever. They love it when we show up with the costumes. So who knows? Maybe we'll get a beaver in Oriental Snatch.
Hmm.
Easter egg for the fans.
Yeah.
Okay. The last two slides are concern the team, and the first one listed is some writer, producer, and lead named Ryland Brickson Cole Tews, and we don't have to discuss him. But how about co-star Valentina, Jessica? How do you pronounce her name? Freitag?
Jessica Freytag, and that's my
Freitag.
fiance.
Hmm. So did you like working with her, or?
Yes,
All right.
that's
Giles,
how it's done.
Um, don't
Yeah,
mind
she's
me. I've been up since 5 a.m.
it's,
Jessica's she's an actress. We actually met at Fantasia Festival.
oh, wow.
We actually met um at the last one that we were at, Giles, that we had Beavers at.
Oh.
That's where I met Jessica, and she was there with a short film that she was a star in called Wind Princess, which was the live action. Um, it was a short film, but it was a live action of the Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind film, the Miyazaki film, and she played Nausicaa. And yeah, and then us and the Brazilian team, we just really hit it off. So now we are for Oriental Snatch, we're kind of combining forces with the Brazilians to make this thing. And another reason why we're shooting in Brazil is because, if we are able to raise $2 to $3 million for this film, that budget goes about 3 times as far in Brazil.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that's it's just it's a reason why, Hollywood shoots their action movies in Eastern European countries because it's cheaper, but they have great crews and who know what they're doing and whatnot. So that's also part of the thinking behind it.
Okay, let's do two more team members. The cinematographer Quinn Hester is returning from Hundreds of Beavers, and you have a new director, Chris Tex, and his bio reads, an award-winning writer-director of narratives, commercials, and graphic novels, known for his flair for the action-packed and fantastic, is a partner of the Sao Paulo-based production company Ritmo Visual Films, who will play an integral role in the production, staffing, and legal aspects of the film. Giles, do you have questions about this?
No, I guess it'd be good to know how'd you end up wanting to work with Mr. Tex and him wanting to work with you? What's your
Well, again, we
guys?
really hit it off at Fantasia Film Festival, and he's one of those guys who just needs a break. He needs, and when I say that, I mean there's a lot of short film makers out there or directors of commercial work who have all the necessary well, they have the necessary skills themselves, but they also have all the hookups in terms of crew members and you know knowing all the stunt guys and action guys and stuff. Uh, and really, what it comes down to is they just need some money. That's always obviously the toughest part to do. And Chris is one of those guys who's enormously talented, and he just needs a movie to direct. And so I said, Chris, it is your chance right now to direct a feature film, your first feature film. And he's very excited about it. He's been doing lots of pre-production work on the film, but he just, like I said, as it states in here, he's got this wild imagination, and he knows how to shoot action, and he just is the right fit for this job. On top of that, again, that we're shooting most of the movie in Brazil, and so it'll be very helpful for him to be able to communicate with the crew who in Portuguese because even though Chris himself can speak English, and many of the crew members can, uh, you know, it's always easier just to
Mhm.
speak in your native tongue. So, Chris is the man for the job, and he's going to do fantastic work. I can't wait for people to discover Chris Tex through Oriental Snatch and then see all of his previous work as well. So, we're very excited to have him.
Wonderful.
It's not a name that sounds particularly Brazilian to me, but I don't know Brazilian naming conventions, I guess. So,
Well, it's because his real name is Cristiano Teixeira.
uh,
Ah.
okay. The idea to shoot in Brazil came because you wanted to work with him, or was it the other way around?
Well, it just made sense because, well, first of all, again, my fiance,
Hmm.
Jessica Freytag, lives in Brazil. And so I spent a lot of time in Brazil, and so I got to know a lot about Brazil and about the people here and the crew people. And obviously, I already knew the Wind Princess team, and so it just made sense to make the next one down here. On top of that, again, the money goes a lot further as well. Um, and so, you know, just based on the resources they have here and how much cheaper it is to shoot here, and then the relationships that I have with that Wind Princess team, it just and the fact that I want to make Oriental Snatch this like crazy action adventure comedy, it just made sense to combine forces with the Beaver team and the Wind Princess team. So yeah.
Wow.
It's just the right fit for the project.
All right, excellent. We have about 4 to 5 minutes remaining. I want to play a special little video that I created to celebrate the friendship between Giles and Ryland because they met at Fantasia, and this is probably the second time you two have spoken over Zoom, and I think you talked to him twice in person, right, for Lake Michigan Monster and
Yes.
Hundreds of Beavers. So I made a little short video to celebrate your friendship that I'd like to
Wow.
play
All right.
now for you guys because I worked like 10 minutes on it, so it would be a shame if
Yeah.
it didn't get in.
No, you've been a good friend. That's in the thick and thin. And I know it's never gonna end. 'Cause you've been a good friend.
Wow.
Two action shots.
Yeah, Giles, I think we got to take more pictures together.
Well, I'm forever hopeful that you'll be a recurring presence at Fantasia because
Yeah,
I'll
that
certainly
was
be going there till the U.S. Shuts down the border for some reason or other.
that
Right.
would have
Yes.
gone longer if we had more than one photograph of you two together. But there you are. So,
No, no.
Giles, I'm going to turn it over to you to ask any remaining questions in our last 3 to 4 minutes or so.
Oh, okay, well, I have at least one. I watched your little 5 minute promotional video for, the Oriental Snatch fundraising thing, and I watched this bit twice because it sounded, well, unfortunate perhaps. You say this is going to be your third and final role.
That's correct. Well, it's just I like to focus on other aspects of life for a while because, it's a lot to make. It's a lot to make three indie films that are of high quality. It takes a lot out of you, and Hundreds of Beavers,
Mm,
for instance, took I mean, like 6 years in total through the pre-production and the shooting and all the post-production and the promoting of it. So, it'd just be nice that after Oriental Snatch, if I could just focus on other aspects of life, at
mm,
least for a while until I'm reluctantly pulled out of retirement,
mm.
inevitably one day.
It's like,
But, I just think why not just put everything I got into the next one and just be happy with that? Because, there is no guarantee that you'll ever make another movie. So,
mm,
I've always been my thought's always been just put everything you possibly got into the next movie, assuming you won't be able to make the next one after that, and then just be happy that, hey, I was able to make three pretty decent movies. And if that's all I got, that's fine with me.
yeah, it's certainly more than most.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll be plenty happy if we're able to pull off Snatch and people really enjoy it. And then I can, like I said, I can focus on some other stuff for a while. So
All
yeah.
right, so I do think we're about to run out of time, so I do want to shut down and say thank you, Ryland Brickson Cole Tews, for showing up, and the movie will be Oriental Snatch in the future. We'll keep you advised as to how that's coming along. Thank you for coming on and talking to us.
Yes, thanks so much, Greg. Thank you, Giles. And again, anyone who's interested in owning a piece of Oriental Snatch, just visit our WeFunder page, which is just wefunder.com/Oriental Oriental Snatch. And you can also find us on Instagram and in the media. We just had a huge IndieWire article written about us. So people are getting excited about Oriental Snatch. So hop on board well, I was going to say hop on board the train, but it should really be hop on board
Hop on board the flying train. Well,
Right. Yes, hop on board the flying train, otherwise known as a plane.
well,
right,
thanks
thank
again,
you.
Ryland. Good luck with this. Congratulations on the engagement, and hopefully I'll see you, in Montreal one day, not too distant future.
Yes, let's plan Montreal Fantasia 2027. How about that?
I'll get you some Mexican.
Thank you. Yes.
All right, beautiful. Well, thank you so much again, and thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. And we're
All right.
out.
Thanks, guys.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna end, 'cause you've been a good friend.
Weird. Yeah, I guess that is the word for it. Weird.